Good night or good afternoon. This is my second class in English. In this case, it's about travel literature for grade seventh grade. And guys, write the objective of the class. The objective for today is to uh, to recognize the characteristics of travel literature and to characterize novels according to the type of travel. According what? According to the type of travel. Um, we go we go to talk about the different novels recognized for their travels, and we go to analyze the socio-critical mode about the people who write that stories, who read that stories, and the persons about the text talks. Yes, the people or the towns about the text talks, and the people who read these texts. You recognize the stories, but we go to analyze if we are identified with these stories. Okay. Okay, Prof. Willie. Okay, I have a magnificent presentation, but I don't know what to show to the video. But I'm working with this presentation. I go to send this presentation for you for your study. Okay, for for start, we are going to start with our journey. In 10 minutes, you can write a short story where we describe the most incredible trip we have had so far. The most important in this story is your ability for describe past events and the details about the characters and places. It's an exercise of description of the past events. It's a story, a simple story. It's a magical trip. Start with a real story, and may, wait. These are exercise create for uh, these. These are exercise create for other students, the seventh grade. And they make they add draws and maps. But for now, you just write a simple story. And as the class go on, we will modify it with the information, with the characteristic of the subject of today. What is? Yeah, the characteristics of travel literature. Okay, the first question is what lies beyond the horizon? Okay, and is the first question make it for a traveler? In this case, we talk about the Greek people. They think about what lies beyond the sea and the other side of the sea. I have an example, famous example is the Odyssey. But in Latin America, who who question to what lies beyond the sea? Uh, I exists a movie called Kontiki. It's about the pre-Columbian Peruvians reached Polynesia in the pre-Columbian era. They make a boat and go to the island so far. Okay, the the narratives of the tales of the literature of travels is about what they found. This is one characteristic. What they found, or about what they expected to find, about they encountered on the trip, or what they expected to find. For example, this Christopher Columbus, Cristobal Colon, what he expected to find. The Indias. Yes, Cristobal Colon expected to find the India because Cartagena is Cartagena de Indias. And that is a characteristic of a history about Cristobal Colon. The fictional components are added. Um, as you explain the characteristics of travel literature, you can add fictional elements to your story and show yourself as heroes, as protagonists. And that is the first characteristics. You show like a hero and you add the fictional components. In that this example, we make a fantastic creature like a big serpent. A guy in the other seventh grade, he talks about the mermaids in the travel of Santa Marta. Okay, this is the first example. Is the Homer Odysseys. You know, in Latin America, um, forget Homer Odysseys. The travel narrative can be an adventure for knowledge. Um, the experience is a proof of what has been discovered. And this is a journey of discovery or an exodus. In Colombia, the forced displacement is caused by war. This is a subject for one story. Or that death, that there is the last journey is a interest experience. Now, characteristics. Ahora sí. Objective disclosure through the experience. The experience is a proof of what has been discovered. It's important in the tales your discovers. If you experience this moment in your life, is the reason of the story. And description of places and people. For example, the description of in this story, this image is of 20,000 leagues of see 20,000 leagues under the sea is a Julio Verne story about the wait. It's a description of places and people and so under the sea is a cave. the sea plants, the animals or big creatures. A characteristic of travel literature is a reflection of life, about the travel, about the how you start and how you finish is not the same person. The fictional stories where the fantastic acquires relevance. And like in the story of the other student of seventh grade, the mermaid was a magnificent discovery in the holiday of his family. Magical places and fantastic characters too. Mm, for reason I explained to the 20,000 leagues under the sea, because it's a real place in the world, but it's magical in a story with in the time of Julio Verne. No, the people don't go to under the sea and see this world. Okay, resources of travel literature. The intention of the reader to feel immersed in the journey and consider the events and character possible. The description, the place, and the creatures. Narrator, this is a character of the Treasure Island, is the narrator of the story, and witnesses is the people who accompanied. Wait. The witnesses are people who accompany the protagonist and are proof of what happened. In this case, I used a image about the Lord of the Ring and the community to the ring, accompany to Frodo to the adventure, to go to the ring. And tools make very important too. This is a travel machine, the tool of possibility, the travel. Okay, entonces, the first type of trip example is trips in the space. You moving, or the protagonist moving from point A to point B. The travel is the unknown. So in your exercise, please add to your story the geographic place where you started and where you got. The trip in the space is an exploration of other worlds. The example is journey to the center of the earth. This image, can you imagine the story is a referent, and it's a motivation for you use your creativity in your task. Okay, other type, time travel. A lot important is given in machinery and technical descriptions. The tool, the time machine is an example. Description of its mechanisms are made. Um, it's not a DeLorean like in a movie, but you make a dispositive artifact you can use to travel in time. You explain how is the functioning, and here are examples for the different travels to the dinosaurs era, Elizabethan era, the time of the Mayans, and the beyond future. Future. Uh, I would very much like to know the Muisca nation, uh, as Bacata was before the arrival of the Spaniards. This is I like it too much. I like to know the Muisca nation in Bogota in the pre-Columbian era. Okay, other type, the literature of travels. ¿Será esta? Well, other type is trips of outer space. It's important the technology, but a state of the art is a futuristic technology for the space travel. You can make descriptions about the extraterrestrial characters and extraterrestrial locations, and it's important too the technical descriptions of the trip. How much people, how much years on for the trip. Okay. Other type of travel literature is travel to fantastic worlds. The example is very famous. You can recognize. Look, well, the other guys of seventh grade recognize the one in the first moment because it's a famous story. Entonces, so the travel literature of fantastic world, the protagonist is one person or a group. Have imaginary spaces, own laws. If there is no temporal logic, and the plot is the hero's mission. In this case, is Narnia Chronicles. Um, the first moment, it is important. No, no, no. Narnia has no laws because you enter through the closet. This is a no law, no physical law. It's another no temporal logic because in outside of the closet is summer and in Narnia is winter. The plot is the hero mission because the four kids can have to save Narnia of the Witch of Winter. This is that mission for the kids, and it's important you look this example of the map. Why you say? Why teacher? It's important because in books we sometimes find maps to locate the places, the name, the name in the story. The places important of the story is located in the map. So you can create a map for your story. Where you start your story, create a map and locate Bogota or locate if you come to other region of Colombia or if you are to the other country or the important place for you locate in a map in a little map the where I can see the travel. Okay, two places, three places located in the maps. Okay, for this exercise, for me was important talk about the Juan Rodriguez Freire with book El Carnero is very interesting. It's not precisely or is not exactly a travel novel, but it's important because Juan Rodriguez Freire presents one of the first historical chronicles of Colombia in the year of the 1630. He located in Bogota, Santa Fe region, bueno, in Santa Fe de Bogota. He had a unique view of the colonial era in the Americas. Um, he has a witness of the colonial era, detailed and critical perspective of society. He talked about the customs, he talked about the religions, politics, and social relations, relations, relationships. Yes, I entonces, he talked about the contradictions of colonial society, the conflicts between Spanish colonizers and Indians and slaves. Entonces, he makes valuable descriptions of historical moments and characters of the time. This is an important relate for me. Is the legend of El Dorado. He talked about this in El Carnero and make famous a story. He has a rich and multifaceted view of life in Colombia in the 17th century. It features narrative elements related to the travel genre. This is a relation with the travel literature with the chronics of the Freire. Voyage of the Conquistadors, how make a trip to the Spain to the America, description of places like 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 a Guatavita Lagoon, um, character exploration, comparison with other travel accounts. Okay, what is the characters? I make this square of the characters, the conquerors, like Gonzalo Jiménez de Quesada or Sebastián de Belancázar. These are religious what? Religious figures like a frailes, I don't know, frailes, um, fathers, and leaders, indigenous leaders. This is important. Guatavita is like a king of the caciques and the cacique of Bacatá. So what is my idea? In class, uh, I read the chapter about the legend of Del Dorado. Guatavita, Guatavita King. He start a ritual on the lagoon, and the people um, cover in gold a one young man, and he go to the boat to the lagoon with a sacrifice with a offer to the lagoon or the gods of the indigenous. The that chapter is for make interest in our culture. You remember my mm, I like to travel in time to Mexican Nation because how was the cities of these people or your costume, your practices. And the carnero is a possibility to know one story, but who is that people, that person who write that story is Juan Rodriguez Freire. And Rodriguez Freire wa- was a criollo. He's not a Spanish or Spaniard pure, a criollo. With the students, in general or in occasion, they think in Colombia we are criollos, but no, we are mestizos. The difference that criollos is in the colonial era was a Spaniard sons born in America. Freire was a criollo, and he talks about the travels because he go to Spain. He studied in Spain. His family uh, yeah, and returned to Bogota because por eso is important like a chronist. Okay, what is the exercise? Entonces, you add the fictional and the others characteristics to the time travel, no, travel literature. Okay, there's only 2 points more for the exercise. Um, that is a cartography. It's very interesting. This is a map, like you make in this moment a more little map, but we have a draw, have a story. This is another. What is the exercise? You you can make a group for to 4 people. One person make a map. Make a map. Other person make a draws, and 2 peoples is the exercise to write a new story based in the 4 stories, 4 exercise you make in this moment. The, the story about your trip, where you located, fantastic adventure, whatever. 4 stories, 2 persons, and make a new addition to fictional characters or magical places or travel machine, time travel machine. Okay, all these characteristics of the time travel you can add to the exercise, but the limit is a 1 page. In the 1 page is the story, the map, and the draw. Okay, you can work in a one thing, but is a group work. What is the important? The stories we talk about is a famous novels of literature to Europe and the white people. So like Juan Freire's Chronics, or like a story of the Contiki, the Peruvians travel. You can make a story of a Colombian person or your region person, or your country person. Like you tell your travel to come to Colombia or to go to the place you you decided in your story. Okay, the important is tell your story. I am want to know you. Okay, and let's go to work. And thank you.